Scott was talking about tyre choices and things earlier on, and I wonder if he's maybe decided he's on the wrong tyres. John Cooper is not in the right spot on the grid either. Look, he's massively overshot his pole position mark as well. So chaos reigning here before the race has even started in this BRSCC Fiesta Championship race. There we go. John Cooper has been waved back by the marshals. He's found reverse gear. The last thing you want to do is get a penalty for starting out of position, especially from pole position. So anyway, John Cooper does get himself into the correct position. Luke Pinder is in the pit lane doing goodness only knows what. Where did I get to on the grid? Spencer Stevenson and Simon Horrobin in row 3, David Nye and Marco Ritchie row 4, Ethan Rogers and Jack Yohill are next, also in older STs, ahead of Robin Hunt, Matt Chambers, Dominic Bush, Zach Lucas and Brian E. Davis. Right, here we go. Only one car on the front row now, that being John Cooper. Keep an eye to Zach Lucas from the back of the grid as well. The lights are out, away we go. Everyone that's on the grid gets away nicely, and Zachary Lucas I can see already making progress towards the back, but there's no doubt about the leader. It's John Cooper that has the advantage. Rob Smith is second. Jamie Going is up to third and challenging for second actually as they go into the first turn. And look at Zach Lucas, 6th place already for Zachary Lucas from the very back of the grid. A brilliant getaway from him. Cone's going flying. This time it is Marco Ritchie who is the culprit, and he's lost a bit of ground there from the first sequence of corners. I think I saw Luke Pinder coming out of the pit lane as well at the back of the grid. The blue car, yes, there's Luke Pinder. So Pinder, another one to watch for. Possibly on different tyres now, who knows? Oh, here comes an attack from Zachary Lucas. He is fired up after what happened yesterday. He goes up the inside, gains another place there. That was the number 12 of Spencer Stevenson that he got past. Runner-up in last year's championship, Spencer Stevenson. But that was a brilliant, aggressive move there from Zachary Lucas. So, leader is John Cooper. Is he going to be able to get away, though? Doubtful, based on what we saw yesterday. And here comes Zach Lucas, really on a mission, isn't he? Going up the inside now to try and gain another position. This time it's the 14, of Simon Horrobin that he's trying to get past. Simon confusing me by adding another 1 in front of his number on the window. It is just number 14 that he's supposed to be running under. Zach Lucas not able to get through there, but certainly looks as though he has every intention of competing for the race win again in this race. Through the right-hander at the middle of the complex, up towards the hairpin. And Simon Horrobin's going to try and get up the inside of Jamie Going. That didn't work. Going and Horrobin both on 3 wheels there as they come through the tightest corner on the track. And depending on who you ask, it's the tightest corner in British motorsport, isn't it, that hairpin? Across the line they go again, then down towards turn number 1. And at the end of lap 1, it is John Cooper that leads the way. Smith second, Going third. Horrobin no longer 4th because Zachary Lucas goes past him into Clervaux and bounces through into that 4th position, down to 5th for Horrobin. 6th place for Stevenson, and then Marco Ritchie 7th. Now Luke Pinder is 8th after that pit lane start, a self-inflicted pit lane start, and he's about to flash through the chicane there, the blue car. So Pinder's, in fact, no, Pinder is the second of those blue cars, isn't he? Because he's got Marco Ritchie ahead of him. There is Zachary Lucas into 4th place, immediately onto the tail of 3rd place runner Jamie Going. And he needs to get on with this, actually, because the top 2 are starting to make a break for it, aren't they? John Cooper and Rob Smith, who is way quicker than Cooper through the Jim Clark S's, almost gets into the back of the race leader. Cooper was struggling round here yesterday. This is where he had that incident with his teammate. He locks up there slightly, I think, on the wetter part of the road, going into Sunny Inn, or maybe that was just spray because he was off the slightly less wet racing line. Held the lead, but that certainly looks like the part of the circuit where he is most vulnerable, and if you don't have the confidence in the rear of the car, then that will hurt you through the S's. And the Barcroft right-hander side by side for 3rd. Lucas trying to get up the inside of Jamie Going, who turns into the corner, manages to retain his 3rd position, but Zach Lucas has now spent a whole lap, actually, almost a whole lap anyway, stuck behind Jamie. Got past Simon Horrobin into the first corner a lap ago, didn't he? So now they're going to go single file this time down to turn 1. John Cooper weaving around, trying to, maybe break the toe, trying to cool his tyres down possibly by driving on the wetter side of the road. You don't want those tyres to overheat, of course. And there, for 3rd place, another brilliant move by Zachary Lucas. So Lucas is into 3rd, and now he's got to try and bridge a 2-second gap, near enough, to the top 2. David Nye, by the way, got himself to the 9th position after a slightly sluggish start. I'll get to Luke Binder in a moment, because there's contact down the back straight. What was that all about? There was a mistake for Jamie Going coming out of the chicane, and Simon Horrobin saw his chance, moved alongside him, but they just touched slightly as Horrobin was making the move, and that almost sent them both heading towards the tyre wall. Very lucky to get away with that there. So Simon Horrobin then rubs his way through into what is now 4th place. 2 places lost on this lap then for Jamie Going. Good move made by Lucas into turn 1, and then a mistake from Going coming out of the chicane, costing him the 2nd place, and maybe a 3rd now, because Spencer Stevenson moves up to attack in the red number 12 car. But decided he was just a bit too far back there, going into the braking zone of Sunny, and he was quite right in that assumption. So decides to live to fight another day rather than go for the risky move. Right, there are the leaders. The lap times will be critical this time, because the fastest lap so far, set by John Cooper, is a 1 minute 40.260, but I reckon that Zach Lucas in 3rd is probably going to be quicker than those top 2 this time. He's certainly getting away from Horrobin, Going and Stevenson behind. With Marco Ricci, by the way, still ahead of Luke Pinder. That's what I was about to check up on before Horrobin and Going got together. Lucas swerves up against the pit wall. Fastest lap for Cooper, 1:39.162, so only about 3/10 quicker than the leaders, actually. Surprises me. I thought he might have had a bit more pace than that. Still quick enough to get there, I suppose, isn't it, with 9.5 minutes still to go. But he's 1.9 seconds still behind Rob Smith in 2nd. And then again down the back straight towards Tower Corner. There is Cooper, the leader. Smith in 2nd position. Hazard lights flicked on. That's been something I've seen an awful lot of actually this weekend with these cars. There you can see as well Stevenson flashing the hazards. It's almost as if they've got the hazard lights linked up to the brakes, doesn't it? Because every time they hit the brakes, some of these drivers, the hazard lights start flashing to distract the driver in front. I don't know if there's anything in the regs that says they can't do that, but that's ingenious if that's what it is. Let's see if Stevenson's hazard lights come on again when he hits the brakes down at Sunny. Well, he was tucked up behind. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Or is it just an orange brake light on the car? I'm really confused with that. I'm sure it would confuse the driver ahead as well when they see that flashing away in their mirrors. Anyway, Spencer Stevenson, all of the flashing of lights in the world isn't getting him ahead of Jamie Going just yet. Going comes through. Stevenson goes up the inside, gets into the back of Jamie Going. There's contact, and Jamie does a good job of saving it, but Spencer Stevenson won't have made any friends by doing that. And he almost gets into the back of him again now, into the last corner. Well, Rubin's racing, as they say. There was no real harm there, but Jamie Going won't have appreciated that little assist through the penultimate corner. Right, lap times at the front then. Cooper does a 1:39.6, Smith a 1:39.7, Zach Lucas a 1:39.3. So he is 3/10 a lap consistently quicker than the 2 cars ahead of him. Simon Horrobin sort of in no man's land now in 4th position. Jamie Going and Spencer Stevenson continuing to battle now for 5th and 6th. And another bit of gratuitous information from Dave Goddard. Apparently, in some cars, if you brake hard enough, the hazards come on to warn the car behind that you're slowing down. And that is... if that is the case, then that has a double effect now, in that it also distracts the car ahead. It's like taking headlight flashing to the next level, isn't it? So that is something I definitely didn't know. I've not seen that before, certainly on a racetrack. And so Stevenson then, another example of that there, as he went on the brakes into Tower, closes up behind Jamie Going. Does he dive to the inside, thinks about it, Going sees it coming, jinks to the inside to block. And that means he runs a bit wide through the exit of the corner, but not wide enough to allow Spencer Stevenson to get the cutback. So the top 3 then were covered by exactly 2.5 seconds. It was precisely 6/10 between 1st and 2nd, and exactly 1.5 seconds between 2nd and 3rd. Here comes Stevenson again, almost a repeat of the collision they had here a lap ago. He's clearly quicker, isn't he, through these tight corners. He's able to carry a bit more speed into the turns, but Jamie Going is a hugely experienced racer, and he knows exactly where to place the car to just stop Spencer Stevenson coming through. This time, by the way, John Cooper sets the fastest lap, 1:38.9, and actually the slowest of the leading 3 drivers was Zach Lucas. So I wonder if Zach had a mistake on that lap that's delayed him. He has, he might come to regret that, because we're into the second half of the race now and he suddenly finds himself nearly 2.5 seconds off the lead. So work to be done again now for St Lucas. It's possible, of course, that he's overworked his tyres as well. Going hard early in this race is maybe not the thing to do, because the tyres might start overheating, and that leaves you with nothing then in the second part of the race. Number 2 there has got a lap down. That's Rosie Hunt. Jamie Going here still defending busily from Spencer Stevenson, who carries a lot more speed off Tower Corner. Can he get alongside into the Jim Clark S's? They're going to catch Rosie through this part of the circuit. That's not really where you want to catch a back marker. Hopefully she sees them coming. She does. She stays to the left-hand side of the road, and they safely flash past her. Head towards Sonny. Stevenson again looks to the inside. Now this time he's going to send it round the outside. That's not going to work, surely. It might, you know. There'll be grip on the outside line. Jamie Going certainly didn't see that one coming. Gets into the second part of Sonny though, manages to close the door. That was an inventive attempt there. I can see why Stevenson tried that, because he knew that Going was going to defend the inside. Sometimes you can goad the driver ahead into going onto the wrong line, and this time Stevenson might just have done it. He carries the speed around the outside. Contact, wing mirrors go flying. Stevenson's through, but Jamie Going is fighting back, and he might just repay that little hip and shoulder. They're leaning on each other again. Stevenson goes through and does now, rather messily, get through into 5th place. Jamie Going just doesn't bother with the hairpin, cuts right across the curb on the inside line, but it didn't help him getting back ahead of Spencer Stevenson. Stevenson, in a roundabout sort of way, is now into 5th position. To be fair, he'd been very patient up until that point. They made a bit of contact a few laps earlier, but he didn't gain from it, and that time he was fully up the inside, and Jamie Going was trying to close the door, and I don't think Stevenson was ever going to back out of that one, really. John Cooper getting quicker and quicker as this race goes on now. 1:38.7 was half a second quicker than Rob Smith in second place. Smith in turn was 4 tenths slower than Lucas, so we're seeing quite a spread of lap times now at the front of the pack. That's just allowing the gaps to increase a bit now. It's 1.3 seconds between first and second. It's another 1.3 seconds back to Lucas in third, but then Lucas is nearly 7 seconds clear of 4th place. Look at the way that he slides through Barcroft and into Sonny Im. That is super spectacular. Of course, a front-wheel drive car, you can just sort of mash your right foot down on the throttle and save those slides, but there's still a real feel required to make that work and to not completely lose it. As quick as he was through the fast stuff, though, through the slower stuff, I think Rob Smith is getting away from him again now, isn't he? Lots of wheel spin as they come up through the final complex of corners. Zachary Lucas on the podium already. It's already a good effort this from the back of the grid. He'd like to go a bit further if he could. Black and white warning flag being given out there for presumably track limits in turn 1. Not sure who for. Not getting any notification on the timing screen as to who that was for either. So possibly one of the leaders, I suppose, pushing too hard. This time around, Rob Smith is fractionally quicker than John Cooper. And they're both half a second quicker than Zach Lucas. That's what I mean. The lap times aren't consistent at all here, are they? On changing lap after lap after lap as one driver finds a bit of grip, and then the next lap the other one finds a bit more speed. There goes Matt Chambers, the next car to go a lap down, running in 13th place overall. And that is 4th place within his class for the Alder-shaped STs. That class being led at the moment by car number 11, which is Ethan Rogers, ahead of Jack Yohill and Bryony Davis. Leaders zip through, out through the Jim Clark S's. Yeah, back markers doing a good job to stay out of the way. They're having their own race, of course, but there's just such a performance difference now between the two classes that there's no competition really, and it's actually difficult when the closing speed is that great to spot the quicker cars coming sometimes. That's why the marshals have to be on their toes with the blue flags, letting them know that quicker cars are on the way and that they need to try and get out of the way of them. Final lap possibly about to begin. Oh, actually no, maybe not. They're lapping in the 38s, aren't they? They've got 10 seconds to get to the line, and if they don't get there in time, then this will be the last lap. It's going to be another really close one, isn't it? The start-finish line's quite a long way down here, actually, and no, this will, I think, be the final lap. Well, they crossed the line with 1 minute and 37 to go, and they're lapping in the 38s and 39s. So, again, not sure if this is the last lap or not. We'll wait and see whether a flag or a last lap board appears at the end of this one. John Cooper would be quite grateful to see the checkered flag. He's managing this gap nicely. It's staying static at around 1.2 or 1.3 seconds, but the fewer laps he has to complete, the less he has to worry about managing his tyres or making a mistake in the still quite slippery conditions. Down into Tower Corner. It's a little bit damp down here, isn't it? But not anywhere near as wet as it has been. Cooper then on for a double victory here. We've had quite a few double victories, haven't we, this weekend in some of the other series, both in MX5 Super Cup and MX5 Championship. Green flag there. Now, does that mean someone's off at Tower? Oh, it's Zach Lucas. Zach Lucas, I don't believe it. He's gone off again. This time, surely, all on his own down at Tower Corner. And Zachary Lucas is... If he never comes back to Croft again, it'll be a day too soon. He's had an absolute nightmare of a weekend. Unarguably, he's had the pace to win races, but he's just made little mistakes in both races that have cost him. Now, he's been able to rejoin this time with, by the looks of it, front bodywork damage, but not quite as significant damage as he had yesterday. But that will now presumably mean that Simon Horobin will inherit third position. Anyway, John Cooper comes out of the final hairpin. He's got 5 seconds left on the clock. Is it going to be a checkered flag or is it going to be a last lap board? It looks like a last lap board's going out, so they're going to get one more lap in. Yep, there is the last lap board. So they're going to get a bonus lap here because technically the 15 minutes had actually elapsed by the time he got there. But anyway, he's not going to complain. I'm sure he'll enjoy this final lap. He's actually pulled another half a second there on Rob Smith on that lap. Smith second then, Horobin does go third, and that means it's bad news for Zachary Lucas, because he's got to try and limp round a whole lap and a half now with that damaged front end, unless of course he heads for the pit lane for repairs. No, he's going to carry on, and Zach Lucas then across the start finish line, yeah, really not at full chat, is he? So Zach Lucas across the line 7th, did he? Yeah, no, 8th place for Zach Lucas. He's got 2.9 seconds in hand over Marco Ricci, who's the last of the turbo cars in the race. So I wonder if he's going to be caught by him. Almost certainly will at that pace. John Cooper going an awful lot quicker though, and it's going to be a double victory here for John Cooper this weekend. Daniel's Motorsport car, which has run sublimely. The only issue they've had really has been that contact in the earlier race, but this one's been pretty much textbook performance from John Cooper, who makes his way through that final sequence of corners now under absolutely no pressure from Rob Smith in second, so he can afford to stroke it home now. John Cooper then heads into the last turn, a tight hairpin, and comes towards the start-finish line then to take the race victory in round number 2 of the BRSCC Fiesta Championship, the 13th race of the weekend here at Croft. Checkered flag waves for John Cooper. He takes the victory. Second place goes to Rob Smith, and third place, some way back, should go to Simon Horobin. That is his first podium, I think, in this car. Simon was entered at the Formula Ford Festival last year, and I'm trying to remember why he didn't race. Oh, look at that, he only just hangs on to third, actually. Spencer Stevenson, 0.2 of a second behind him at the flag, and then another side-by-side battle, and that is Luke Pinder snatching 5th from Jamie Going on the line by just under 0.2 of a second. David Nye is next. Then is it going to be Zach Lucas or Marco Ricci? It's going to be Ricci. Ricci in the blue car almost goes off, actually, through the hairpin, but he is going to survive and get to the flag in 8th position, and next is possibly, that's a lapped car, that's Matt Chambers. So where is Zachary Lucas? Where's Zach Lucas with his wounded car? Is he going to get to the flag or not? I'm not sure he is. This looks like it's going to be Ethan Rogers next, number 11. Yeah, there is, it's going to be a run to the line, actually, isn't it, between Zachary Lucas and Jack Yohill, and I think Yohill's going to get him, so Lucas is going to finish the race in 11th position, having been third with a lap and a half to go, and he'll be particularly disappointed that they decided to run that extra lap, because if they hadn't, he might have at least hung on to a top 7 or 8 position. So a dramatic second round then of the BRSCC Fiesta Championship. The victory goes the way of John Cooper. So Zach Lucas came home in the end in a very, very lowly 11th place, but it was Simon Horobin third, second place for Rob Smith, and John Cooper, the race winner. Those three are down now with Scott.
Well, more frantic action from the Fiesta Championship. Fiesta Juniors is later. Yeah, between the turbo cars, and another great performance by John Cooper, and some frantic battling going on for second and third place in the podiums, and also an impressive top 3 in the ST150s. I think we've got Bryony Davies on the podium there in third, their first ever senior podium, which is great in her first weekend. But what we should do is have a chat to the man who went ahead and made it 2 from 2 this weekend. That is John Cooper. John, it's not a bad way to start, is it? Two starts in the new Fiesta Championship class and 2 wins.
Yeah, good start, good weekend. Interesting conditions at second one, but again, Goodyear tyres did what they're supposed to do and kept me on track.
So again, car's looking well sorted. It seems they either, I remember you testing the car for the first time properly in the wet at Donington back in February last year before everything kicked off, and even in the wet, this thing looked like an absolute weapon. Yeah,
they've come a long way since then. It's power to weight ratio, you can't beat it. I was kept honest. I don't know what happened behind me, but it looked like an interesting battle a few cars back. Good enjoyable race, clean race again as well, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, lots of exciting racing, and of course we've got the premise of more of these coming out as the season goes on, so by the time we get to the end of the season we're going to have a full grid of these. It's going to look mega.
Yeah, I think now everybody's seen what they can do, that they'll come back out and enjoy some racing with us.
Good stuff. Well, go and enjoy your victories. Well done, and we'll see you at Silverstone for the next one.
Thanks, Scott.
Oh, sorry, Alton Park, no, sorry. Not like Silverstone. Get my race meetings mixed up. Let's bring in, where's Rob Smith for second place? Rob's just over there. Let's bring Rob in for second place. Smiling as ever, and rightfully so. 2 second places in my new turbo. Oh, you'll take that, won't you?
Yeah, definitely take that. And we had a really good race. I set the car up for the wet. So at the start of the race, we were really competitive. I was absolutely all over him like a cheap soap. But at the end of the race, I was just struggling a little bit and just hung on to second and just brought it home. But I think Jamsport have done a fantastic job with the car. Brand new car for this weekend. Jamie and particularly my mechanic Aaron have done mega. Just got to say hello to Andy, my mechanic as well. He does lots of long nights for me, and really nice guy. Glad to have him on board.
Good stuff. Well, we're running a bit short on time, but well done for second place. Good stuff. Let's bring Simon as well. Simon, welcome back to the podium. Good stuff, mate. You seem to be loving those turbo cars as well.
Yeah, it's just got to get to it. First time we've been out on one this weekend, but yeah, the brakes cooked the brakes earlier on, but just held it on and just enough just to get there further. You
had some good battles with your sparring partner Jamie out there as well. I noticed 1 or 2 little bumps and scrapes, is just like old times.
Yeah, well, it's always going to be the same with us out there.
Good stuff. But again, it seems as though these new Fiestas are going down a treat, and you seem to be loving life in them as well.
Yeah, I think they're the way to go. You know, there's a few teething problems, but I think we're ironing them out very quickly. You know, done a great job. You know, the people who've developed them and that. Great show. You know.
Yeah, good stuff. More the same at Alton.
Yeah, I will be there. Be there all.
Good stuff. Well done.
Excellent.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. I know the Super Cups are out on the grid, so we're going to be very quick. I think just have a word. I think if we can come down here with Ethan Rogers, because I know we're short on time. I want to give Jandy to the grid for the Mazdas, so bear with us a second. Let's see if we can just grab a word quickly with Ethan. Quickly for the ST150 class win. But second season, you've started off really well with 2 class wins. Couldn't wish for anything better.
No, it's been a great start to the season. Hopefully can carry on and keep some more podiums coming at the next meeting.
Yeah, good stuff. Are you looking forward to Alton Park?
Yeah, I like Alton Park, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Good stuff. Go and celebrate. We'll let you crack on.
Thank you.
Good stuff.